Hello, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about leadership analysis for Barack Obama. And there are a lot of things to be considered when you think about a good leader and what constitutes a good leader. And some people say that leaders are born, and some say that leaders are made. Within the context of good leadership, I'd have to say that there are a little bit of both. So, in terms of leaderships leaders being made or leaders being born, there's aspects or characteristics of a person that can make them a good leader, and these are things that they would be born with. So those characteristics could be motivation, drive, determination, having good character, good morals and values. Those types of things could be a part of a person that are innately inside of that person that could be shaped or formed into something that can make them a good leader. In terms of the things that can make a good leader is someone in the leader's life being a good role model, whether that's a parent or an authority figure, or such as a teacher or an educator or someone, a coach, someone in the person's life that could serve as a good role model to take those characteristics of that person and mold and shape them into what is considered to be a good leader. Leadership and good leadership comes from someone who is able to have integrity and carry out their daily duties with integrity and value and respect of others. But good leaders are also able to call others to action, and also they're able to pull others up to their same standard. For instance, they're able to motivate people to be better or greater than they are. And those are the types of things that make someone a good leader. In terms of this leadership analysis, we're going to talk about how he utilized his platform and incorporated those good leadership skills that he already possessed in order to make a good president, to make a good leader of the country. So going back to his childhood, he was raised by his mother and his father until he was 2, and they separated. And his mother is Caucasian, his father was African American, his father was from Kenya, and they both were studying at the University of Hawaii. So he was raised by his parents of different ethnic backgrounds, and I feel that that's a part of what gave him, made him a good leader when he grew up, because he had experienced, both sides of the fence, so to speak, in terms of racial issues and issues that the country is facing as well. So being able to utilize, after that he was raised, for a great deal of time he was raised by his grandmother and as a single parent. And so I believe all of those aspects allow him to connect with the people who voted for him. During his campaign, he talked about change, and he called to action people who wanted to make a change, people who saw a problem and wanted to do something about it. So he was able to model the way by having clear values and being the person that others wanted to be. In other words, he led by example. He had a clear message, clear values, and he showed people that through his everyday actions. From early on in his college years, throughout his race for the presidency, and thereafter during the administration. Those are the things that happened. He was able to also to inspire a shared vision through the same methods, where he was able to convey his plan of action and solicit others to join the journey. And the plan of action was to build community, to bring togetherness. He talked about bipartisanship throughout his candidacy or throughout his run for the presidency. And throughout his administration, he also unified the nation, from poor class to middle class, those types of things. He tried to bridge that gap. And so he did inspire a shared vision throughout his leadership, having that clear vision and also being able to convey a plan of action and solicit others. It's something that he was able to do along the process throughout the candidacy, throughout the presidentship. His administration was able to do those things. He was a visionary, and he utilized his poise and his character that was appealing to the people to be able to call them to action, to come together to create change. He challenged the process. There were things that were in place before his administration that he came in and he wanted to change and make better. He also, one of the things that he did was to help millions of Americans have affordable health care. That was something that was a very big achievement during the Obama administration, and that was important, an important change that he made. So he challenged the process, and going back to modeling the way and inspiring a shared vision, to challenge the process, to do something about those shared visions, to create a way to change or to implement those changes. Then also to enable others to act, basically. So throughout his race for candidacy or throughout the presidential race, he shared his vision. He had clear values, a clear message, and he was able to solicit others to join in on the journey. And he enabled them to act through having those clear messages and providing a platform where voices could be heard. And I think in terms of leadership and what makes someone a good leader, you see that throughout his presidency, his running for president, and also as a leader in his community. You see the different times where he's able to clearly express a concern and call others to action in order to do something about those concerns. And that's what makes a person a good leader. Lastly, but not least, he encouraged the heart. And what that means is that he was able to form a bond with his followers and other leaders around the world to make change. So as a good leader, he's able to lead by example, have good moral values and characters, to have a good work ethic, to motivate others to do something, to make change, and also encourage them to join in on his efforts to make change. And those different aspects of being an exemplary leader, to be a good leader, is what makes him what made him a great leader. And he continues to be a good leader because those skills are still part of his everyday actions, whether it's something in the community, whether it's on an individual level. He continues to make change through speeches, through whatever it is. He's continued to make those changes and encourage others to go out there and pursue change. So I think when you talk about leadership and whether or not leaders are born or made, those values are important to evaluate. And I do believe that leaders are made but they could be born with some characteristics that can be shaped into what makes them a great leader. And these are the reasons why I feel that Barack Obama was a great leader for the country, and even before being the president, he was a great leader in the community.